Hey everyone, this is my video blog for the Strade Bianche weekend. It was a couple of days ago now, so I'm late again with my little update, but I've had a couple of days at home in Italy to refresh and have a good reflection on such an awesome race. Came into the race feeling pretty good with legs feeling better and better from the two races that I'd started with before that, with the spring classics. And so yeah, I was really excited. We did a bit of course recon when we got to the small place just outside of Siena in Tuscany in Italy. And on the Friday we rode some of the course and it was super windy, pretty scary. The course was really tough, and so we were a little bit nervous, probably made us more nervous, but it was still really important to see some of those roads and some of the directions of the wind and the hills, and especially the gravel sections, which makes the race so famous. So yeah, I was trying to give myself a bit of confidence, and I was given the job to be Emma's shadow or right-hand girl, so I was going to try and keep her out of trouble and try and help her as much as possible for as long as possible in the race. So that was another thing that was making me a bit nervous too, was just hoping to stay there with her for as long as I could. So that just definitely gave me more motivation to dig deep in the harder sections. The first half of the race was pretty uneventful, and I was a little bit nervous in the bunch, but in general I think we looked after ourselves pretty well and tried to conserve as much energy as possible. The Rabobank team were attacking a little bit. I think they were keen to get an early break up the road, but I think the rest of the teams were pretty happy to just wait until the decisive stages of the race, which came at about 60k in and just got harder and harder until the finish. So yeah, I was really well positioned into the main gravel section, which was 9.5k's, and that started at about 58k into the race. And I was with Emma and got over the first hill ride and had a bit of fun going into the first descent on the gravel, and then I was pretty much in the top three wheels, I think, down that section, and just wanted to get a good run into the next hill and hopefully sandbag a little bit so I could stay with the front girls as we got over the top of that. And as we climbed, I didn't have Emma come past me, and I didn't realise that she'd had a flat at the bottom, so I just had to decide then and there that it was too late to go back or to help her to wait. Hopefully one of the other girls was going to look after her by that stage, and so I had to just stay with the leaders for as long as I could, and I didn't quite have the legs to go with them over the next couple of tough hills. I was really annoyingly about 5 or 10 seconds off them for ages, and maybe I could have dug a bit deeper to stay with them on one of those hills, but you never know what the line is when you're going to blow up and when you're not. So I don't know, I think at the time I was suffering as much as I could have, and you always feel better than in hindsight. So I think I did the best I could that day, and so I was in a small group of 4 just off the back of that front group for quite a long time until Emma caught back up, and she'd managed to catch up quite a lot of distance, and I think Lizzie had helped her quite a bit, so that was a pretty awesome ride by her as well. And then I just dug deep and drove it on the front in our group of about 15 girls, and I just buried myself in about 10k and then popped with about 10k to go, and then it was up to Emma to try and bridge across to the leaders, but by that stage the gap was just too far. So bit of an unlucky day for us, and we had a couple of other mechanicals with the other girls, so yeah, we were down on numbers and just down on luck, but personally I was pretty happy with how I rode, and especially over a course like that, climbing is not one of my strengths, so getting stronger and stronger, and it was nice to help Emma a bit as well, even though she had a bit of bad luck that day. So apart from that, it was an amazing course. It was so cool to race there, and coming into Siena through the paved streets and the steep streets, there was heaps of people there already cheering. And just to know that I'd watched that race on TV the year before, and to actually be riding those last few kilometres that you see on TV was really special. So I tried to make sure I soaked it up as much as I could, and even though I was totally in the box, it was pretty awesome. So yeah, Emma said that she's already counting down the days until the next Strade Bianche next year, and I'm definitely the same. I thought it was awesome and can't wait to come back and give it an even better try next time. I think that I can do really well here. So yeah, got a few races in Holland this weekend, and I think the form's really coming up now, so hopefully give it a red hot crack. And I'll try and do some more video blogs this weekend. Thanks for following.